What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another album of the month, this time for April of 2021. And I could not be more excited than to be talking to you about one of my favorite alternative rock bands, Manchester Orchestra from Atlanta, Georgia, with their 6th studio album, The Million Masks of God. This thing is fantastic. I'm just going to say right off the bat, I would, it's only been a week since it's been released, but I'd rank it in their top 3 albums easily. This thing is from start to finish just great. From the opener of Inaudible, you know you're in for something special just when those vocals hit, the huge harmonies of Andy and the gang just building this wall of sound. And man, what a sound it is. Manchester Orchestra always have had this huge, just bombastic, yet also ethereal sound that through the years they've really developed. And I think they've really hit their stride here, especially after 2017's A Black Mile to the Surface, which was a real welcome back after the more or less lackluster Cope, and something that was a little bit more intriguing in the way of songwriting and the song structure. The album flowed together in such a way that it pretty much told a story, not a full-blown concept album, but a bit of a thinking man's album, if you will. And this definitely follows up that in a way that expounds upon that idea even more. If A Black Mile to the Surface was about rebirth, this song is very much about death and the afterlife. And supposedly, guitarist Robert McDowell lost his father and was battling dementia leading up to that, right as this album was being made. So there's a lot of just real heart and soul that was poured into this record. And in typical Manchester Orchestra fashion, the lyrics are never just, cut and dry. You have to kind of read into it a bit, but that's one of my favorite things about Andy Hull's songwriting, and it's never better here. And man, I've already done a video on one of the singles, Telepath, which is right in the center of the album. A gorgeous, just kind of folky, laid-back number that, man, it just hits you in the heart, hits you in the gut with lyrics like, are you still with me? Will you forgive me? And, just when I heard that song, I was like, this album is really going to be something. And of course, the 2 singles they released prior to that, the more upbeat Keel Timing and Bedhead, which flow right into one another on the album, are also top notch. And man, just the first side of this album, the first 5 tracks flow into each other so perfectly. I can just picture them whenever they do play a live show again, just opening with Inaudible and doing the first 5 songs of this record in order without skipping a beat, and everyone would be into it. Because I'm telling you, right after Inaudible, which on first listen was maybe my favorite track on the album, that keeps changing because the album just keeps getting better and deeper upon each listen. But now I think Angel of Death, track 2, might be my current favorite. It's one that really grows on you, and it's 6+ minutes, and it's everything you'd want in a Manchester Orchestra song. It's just, it's epic. It's got these haunting background vocals that keep coming back at different times of the song. The ending especially has this just hypnotic sound with Andy saying lyrics like, it wasn't a lie, but it wasn't the truth. And it's just with this guitar that's very sparse, but hard hitting. So cool. And then it's got an anthemic chorus that says, I'm alive on top of it. Just probably my current favorite on the record. Another one that really has grown on me on side B is Dinosaur, a song that really builds from a whisper to a scream in a way that only bands like Manchester and Thrice can do nowadays. It's just, it's magnificent at the end when he gets to that point where he goes up an octave singing, I will not repeat myself over and over. And you can really feel the anger in his voice and, you know, thinking about the fact that if this is really about, you know, a loved one who was lost, who was battling dementia, you feel the emotional weight. And throughout the record, I mean, in different areas, you can feel that there's like all the stages of grief at different points of the album. Another highlight is the song Annie, which on first listen, I was like, it sounds a little bit like the melody from an earlier song, but in a way that it gets more and more just beautiful on each listen, especially the guitar chord changes, the arpeggiated guitar, and then there's an arpeggiated piano on the chorus that is just gorgeous. The way that they produce this thing is spectacular. So all of side one leading into Telepath in the center. The album does lose a little bit of steam on the second half, aside from Dinosaur. Most of the tracks are a little bit more laid back, folky, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, the melodies are just amazing on songs like Obstacle specifically. Way Back is something too that really grows on you and almost sounds like something Simon and Garfunkel could have written. It's just very, very hushed and pretty. And that is a great penultimate track leading into the Internet, the final track, which also builds up into something bigger as it goes, not in a way, not as huge as like The Silence from Black Mile to the Surface, but in a way that wraps up this album in a very nice way and makes you want to go back and listen again. I mean, I swear I've probably listened to this thing a dozen times already, and I'm loving it more and more each time. So far, it's my favorite record of 2021, and if I had to give it a grade right now, I would give it a very strong 8 out of 10. Highly recommend. If you're a fan of Manchester Orchestra or not, this is a great place to start, man. It is, if you love alternative rock that makes you think a little bit, but also makes you feel from the inside out, this is the record to go to. Thank you to Manchester Orchestra for just always being consistently great. And thank you guys for watching. We got album reviews, top fives every Friday, so much more. Thank you for watching. And as always, Viva la vinyl. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be sure to ring the bell for notifications so you can always see great quality content like you're seeing on the screen right now. Thank you so much for supporting Johnny Radio, and I'll see you soon.